Evil will come, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1. Line drive to the base hit. Justice has scored a tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines and sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead it by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series.
The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Back and throws. There's a home run. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them with my faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings long drive left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is
Lotus fires. Ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins. Here's the pitch to Willie. Here's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take. I'll tell you what, we haven't heard.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
long drive to left field. Way back. Yes, it's hit back.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Pena in a chance. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
I see with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good. And it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Hey, who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
Fun.
Well, the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out. But get them out of here. You don't let it, Cleveland.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right then is your host, Dan Scott.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Dan Scott Show, cleverly titled because I am, of course, Dan Scott, a simple-minded person who figured if he named the show after himself, he'd never forget it. It's written right inside there. I'm not going to show where we. Hey, your mom used to write your name on the inside of your underwear.
That's right.
We won't go there. That'll be an image that folks will never get out of their mind. But welcome to the program today. I'm Dan, and this, as you can see from our high-tech graphics people, is Bootie Cothran, our own American Ninja Warrior. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man. Thanks for having me out here.
It is great to have you with us here. You know, it's interesting. Monday night, I watched the 11 o'clock news, and I won't say which one because I actually liked the young man who was doing the forecast, and it's really not his fault to a certain degree, I guess. But he said all the possibility of rain is getting out of here tonight and tomorrow morning, and by the time we get to Thursday and Friday, we're going to be in the 90s.
Yeah.
Sunshine going to turn hot. I got up this morning. I was driving my wife's car, which is a convertible, and I was all ready to roll. And the one day I get it without her, what happens?
Exactly.
Unexpected rain.
I just put my top on my Jeep on the way in.
Well, you know what? If that's the worst thing that happens to me all day, I'll be in pretty good shape.
That's right. That's right.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man.
I would say you're looking good, but you always look good. And,
well,
and I hate people like you.
Well, thank you. I've been having a good time with this old Ninja Warrior bit, and it's been a lot of fun. And it's been a long wait since April. We filmed in April in Daytona, and I've been waiting for it to hurry up and get around here so we could divulge what happened. So
that's become a thing. Although we got to be right up front for anybody who's watching right now. You're not going to divulge here.
No spoilers
happened.
Today.
See.
No, we're not that easy. You're going to have to tune in on NBC Monday night.
Yeah, see ratings. That's what we want, right?
That's right.
Trying to figure out if I can get my phone to sit in a place where we could actually do the Periscope too, but I'm not having much luck with that.
You need one of those fancy phone holders.
Yeah, or a lackey.
I got one for you. I'm going to bring it to you.
Or a lackey.
Okay.
Yeah, a lackey would even be better.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, maybe we'll figure that out during the break. Anyway, we're going to be spending as much time as Bootie can stay with us today. If it's a whole hour, that'd be perfect to talk about American Ninja Warrior. This will be his fourth run.
Fourth season. Yeah, and it's I can't believe it's gotten that far. I remember when I first got into it, I was thinking to myself, well, it'd be fun if I did it once or twice, and then now, fourth season, and having a lot of fun, meeting a lot of cool people, doing a lot of cool things.
Just go ahead and get this out of the way. The telecast of your run in Daytona, which you said recorded back in April, is this coming Monday night, 8 o'clock on NBC.
That's right, Monday night, NBC. This is the season premiere was a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
They did the LA region the first week. They did San Antonio just this past Monday. This week is Daytona. It's our region, and they've got 2 or 3 more regions to do after that. Then they'll get on to
they start the city finals.
The finals episodes, yes.
I was talking about this when we were previewing you coming on the program a couple of days ago. 4 or 5 years ago, when I stumbled across American Ninja Warrior for the first time, it may be longer than that now, on television, I thought, what in the world is this? Because there was another summertime show that was on, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was on ABC. And
Wipeout.
Wipeout. That's exactly what it was. and my wife and I watched Wipeout, and there was an entertainment factor there because you never knew when one of the contestants was going to get smacked and knocked over and all these other things. And so the first time that I saw American Ninja Warrior, I thought, oh, here we go, another one of these made-for-TV events and all this other stuff. And wasn't real enthused about it, but I started to realize that I was not enthused about it while I continued to watch.
Yeah.
And as I continued to watch, I started to get a really good appreciation for the athletic ability of the men and women who are doing this. Now, I don't know if this is going to, in in the future parlay itself into the mainstream as what would be considered a quote-unquote legitimate sport, like a lot of, like with football,
and basketball
and some of those things.
It's an interesting mix.
I don't know if it'll ever reach that status, but the popularity of this thing has grown exponentially in the last 4 or 5 years, and my wife and I watch it every single week and love watching the combination of strength and athleticism and everything else that goes into being a Ninja Warrior contestant or competitor. And I just encourage people, if you've never seen it before, if you've only looked at it with a passing glance, watch it intensely, or intently, I should say. Watch how intense they are, and see the level of athleticism and strength it takes to do these obstacles.
It's serious stuff. We take it seriously, and it's a lot of people just devote their entire lives to it, and it has become quite a phenomenon. And in terms of popularity, and there are some interesting things happening with things that might take it closer to a sport like that's not necessarily associated with a television show, reality show. It's an interesting mix of that, though, a television and sport. But they've got some cool things happening, a thing called ANW Experience. Bringing obstacle courses to more regional areas, letting something that the general public can get more involved in.
Yeah,
they got Team Ninja Warrior going on. Two of our local Greenville ninjas, Brett Sims, Grace Sims, they competed in that on 2 separate teams. That's awesome to watch. That is in its final 1 or 2 episodes left. That's on USA Network. USA picked that up last year, and I'm so glad they did, because it gets a lot wider audience than it used to on, I believe it was Esquire. But anyway, the Team Ninja Warrior is incredible. If you don't know anything about that, that is a show where they've got it's the same ninjas. Matt and Akbar are hosting as well together, and they got 2 courses, identical courses, side by side. And so you're racing somebody, and it adds another element to things, a little bit of element of speed there.
Yeah, and I know even going back a couple of years, they started the Ninja Warrior All-Stars, an all-star competition for some of the more popular and familiar names that have emerged over the last 4 or 5 years. So it's definitely a growing brand, and I know that even beyond what we see on television, there are Ninja Warrior competitions and weekends that pop up in places all over the country that you've gone and participated in.
There's some fun stuff happening somewhere every weekend, it seems like. These gyms first started popping up all over the country here and there, and then people building courses in their backyards. And that was where I first started out, going to meet some people and get to know some of this community, and actually get involved with some of the stuff that's going on like that in some of these gyms and backyard courses. But this our most recent one was held up at Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Mike Cook and his Ultimate Backyard Warrior site over there. He's built him a great site. People have been coming to it for a long time. And he gets ninjas coming in from all over the country. We had probably 200 people there competing.
Can I tell you something? I used to live in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
No way.
Yeah, and it's not the end of the world, but you can see it from there.
It's close.
It really is. I was enticed away by the Rocky Mount Evening Telegram to leave Florida to go be their sports editor, and professionally it was the worst move that I ever made.
Man.
My wife still walks up to me on occasion and just randomly kicks me in the shins.
Thanks for that.
For leaving Florida. And we're talking, we're talking 24 years later,
Right.
She still ain't real happy that I took her out of Titusville, Florida, and took her to Rocky Mount.
That's for Rocky Mount,
North Carolina. The corporate headquarters of Hardee's, or at least it used to be. I don't know if it still is or not. But anyway, so there's a big ninja course there.
Yeah.
Boy, you must be really into the ninja stuff if you'll go to Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
That's what's so crazy is everybody came. Jesse Graff was there. Drew Drescher was there. All the big names were there. It was crazy.
We have just obliterated the Rocky Mount market as far as listenership and viewership of this show. But
But Mike does a great job with this stuff, and he puts on a great competition, and he gets sponsors and gives away a lot of money. And that's probably what's bringing a lot of these people in from so far.
Yeah, money will do that.
It'll do that. It's funny how that works.
People will go to great lengths to get money, and sometimes it's not all legal.
That's right.
Yeah, money has a way of doing that to people. It's interesting to see how this whole phenomenon has grown. How did you get started with it?
So I saw it probably. I guess it was right before season 5. I was 44 years old. I caught it on TV or online, and I see these people running this obstacle course, and one of the obstacles that really caught my attention was the salmon ladder. If you don't know it, it's rungs on both sides, and you're using a bar to do a pull-up and climbing up.
In effect, going upstream.
Yeah.
Thus the name salmon ladder.
There you go. And so that just fascinated me, and I thought, man, this is the coolest thing ever. This is all that, I grew up like climbing trees and stuff in the woods and playing in the woods, and so this stuff was right up my alley. And never having had a sport in high school or college to call my own, this was, I was in my mid-40s. I'm about to age out, and I was like, man, I need to jump all over this and have some fun before I can't do it anymore. So I signed up, put in an application, and I got a call back the first year, and I've been hooked ever since, man. I'm itching to do more and see how far I can push it.
So you started at 44. This is your 4th year. So I'm going to do my West Virginia math thing, and you're what, 48 years old?
That's pretty good.
How about that?
That's pretty good.
How about that?
I'll be coming up 49 in a few months.
And
hard to believe.
This is a guy who I always tell people that I'm the only play-by-play guy in America who broadcast for a school that wouldn't let him in as a student. So, but I was able to add 4 to 44,
yeah.
So go figure.
There you go.
Was it more difficult than you thought, less difficult than you thought? I mean,
you mean specifically the course this year?
No. When you first decided to get into it, I mean, you saw it and said, okay, I'd like to do this. What were your expectations going in, and then what was the reality?
It's all stuff that every kind of obstacle that is going on there is all the kind of stuff I used to play at growing up. So it all just kind of comes natural to me. Hanging on monkey bar kind of stuff,
swinging from trees,
balancing kind of stuff. Always been pretty good at that kind of stuff. So it's just been a natural fit. But there's a lot of when you string all these obstacles together, and you're doing a city finals length course where you've got 12 obstacles all the way together, and you've got to finish them all, and you got to do it in a decent kind of time. Well, you get exhausted pretty quick. So I mean, there's a lot of training that goes on in terms of getting familiar with some of those moves, with some of the things that might not be so common. And monkey bars are common. Jumping into the jumping spider is not something everybody really practices a lot. Things like that. So it's really, I found it really beneficial and helpful to go to some of these backyard courses and gyms. And well, the wall is a great example. I remember the first time I saw the warped wall on TV, I thought, oh yeah, once I get to that, I can just go right up that, no problem. Now, first time I got on a wall, a legit wall in Atlanta, I couldn't get up. And I had to get somebody to teach me the technique. And once I learned the technique, I could do it. But it was certainly not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
It's like any other sport. There's a technique, or there are fundamentals involved in doing it the right way.
Yeah.
And the thing about Ninja Warrior, for those of you who haven't watched it, it is something that really taxes every part of your body. There are parts of your body or parts of the course, it's going to be all grip and upper body.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be parts of it that are really stressful on the legs. And in the initial runs, I think we're looking at 6 obstacles. And
right.
Then that doubles in size, I think, in the city finals.
They add, I think it's 4 more.
4 more, so
yeah.
It goes up to 10. So if you are fortunate enough to advance to the national finals in Las Vegas, you have really accomplished something.
Yeah.
Because it's really designed to stress every part of your body, and that includes your mental acumen as well.
Yeah, there's some cool obstacles. With some of my favorite obstacles are the ones that that make you think while you're doing it. One of them that comes to mind is one called the circuit board, and where imagine overhead you've got a big board with slots and holes in it, and you can use some grippy things to stick them up in there, and you can move them around, but you've got to navigate a path. There are certain obstacles like that where you have to navigate a certain path. One path might be better than another, and so you've got to think up there while you're in the middle of it, which adds another element.
And that's one part of the mental game, but the other part that I was specifically referring to is what happens when you start to get tired or you're bordering on exhaustion. And to be able, again, like in other sports, to be able to will yourself to mentally be able to fight through that. Keep your focus even when your body is telling you I can't do anything else.
I mean, you get up there hanging on something, and you know that it's the end of your year if you fall. There's a little bit of incentive to hang on, and so it's a lot of fun to get out there and push those limits, see how far you can go, and just have a lot of fun doing it. Enjoying the process. That's one of the things for me is it's now becoming not so much about how far I get, but making sure that I get out there and enjoy the experience, do the absolute best that I can, and enjoy the time out there on the course and the whole experience.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with Bootie Cothran. We'll talk about the TV time he's gotten the last couple of years and the fact that he doesn't know and didn't even know last year or the year before that TV time was coming. So we'll talk about that and continue American Ninja Warrior talk with Bootie Cothran. By the way, if you'd like to ask Bootie a question specifically, if you're watching the Facebook feed, you can just leave the question in the comments there. We'll ask them. You can tweet them to me at Dan Scott Show, or if you're listening on the TuneIn Radio app, you can use the Dan Scott Show Twitter handle or email thedanscottshow@gmail.com. And we'll get all the questions that come in for Bootie to him and let him answer them during the course of the show. We'll take a break. The show is brought to you, as always, by our friends at the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Plaza here in Greenville. We'll be back right after this. The Atlanta Bread Company wants to make your dining experience as convenient as possible, especially if you're ordering takeout. Go online to atlantabreadcompany.com, place your order there, and pay for it too. Then, when you get to the restaurant at Cherrydale Point, you breeze right by the cash registers and go straight to the pickup counter where your food will be waiting. And speaking of food, try the new Shrimp Po' Boy, a delicious and surprisingly healthy addition to the already great menu. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. Dan Scott here to tell you that I have found my breakfast place in the Traveler's Rest area, the Hungry Drover. Located at the intersection of Tigerville Road and Highway 290, the Hungry Drover features local eggs, raw milk, homemade breads, and of course their famous gigantic omelets. If it's lunch you crave, check out the barbecue, tomato pie, and the made-from-scratch desserts. And don't forget dinner on Friday nights. Find the full menu and operating hours at hungrydrover.com and like them on Facebook. For catering, call John at 864-901-5040 and enjoy the farm fresh eating experience in the heart of Traveler's Rest. That is the Hungry Drover.
If you've been sidelined with an injury, sore joint, or back pain, the experts of Piedmont Orthopedic Associates can offer you both surgical and non-surgical care to get you moving again. Piedmont Orthopedic Associates' 15 surgeons and 2 spine physicians are all board certified and are committed to providing you with excellent orthopedic care. Visit us online at getmovingwithpoa.com.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, finances, insurance? Then let State Farm agent Steve Borkland in Traveler's Rest help you simplify and get to a better state. Because with Steve handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time for everything else. More money, too, because adding State Farm policies could mean earning discounts worth up to 40%. That's money Steve can help you put towards a college savings plan. Call State Farm agent Steve Borkland today and get to a better state with State Farm.
At SC Telco Federal Credit Union, we're passionate about helping to improve the financial lives of our members. SC Telco is the first financial institution in South Carolina to offer a Price Lake savings account. The Save to Win account allows members to save money, earn interest, and have the chance to win cash prizes. When you're in front of us, you're the only person that matters. Find a location near you at sctelco.com. SC Telco looks forward to serving you. SC Telco is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration.
All right, welcome back. It is the Thursday edition of the Dan Scott Show. I am he. This is Bootie Cothran. Tomorrow, we'll be on location for the entire program at Southern Wesleyan University. Our good friend Chris Williams, of course, who's a regular guest on the program, the athletic director there. And we do that segment when he's on with us called Even in Athletics, where we kind of marry faith and sports. Well, we're going to go do the show on site from their dining hall overlooking their baseball facility, and hopefully the weather will be such that we can actually have a nice view heading in that direction. But that's tomorrow at 10 o'clock, live from Southern Wesleyan University for the entire program, and hope that you'll join us for that. We've got a good group of folks tuned in. Folks are sharing the video. Thank you for doing that. Continue to do so. Share the link here on Facebook, on Twitter. And again, if you have a question for Bootie, leave it in the Facebook comments section while you're watching the video, or tweet them to me at Dan Scott Show. SoCon John wanted to know if you're going to get your hands on one of those new Furman football jerseys that Clay and the boys displayed a couple of weeks ago.
I would love to. I love those new jerseys. I love the new look. I was just down there commenting to Tracy on them down at the front office, and they put them on the mannequins down there, and they look really good.
You know what the goal is?
What?
To recruit players who look as good as those dummies.
I know it.
Those dudes are cut, aren't
they?
They
are cut up, man. Yeah. Those mannequin makers know how to do it.
If we could get 15 or 20 players that look like that, we'd be in business.
That's right.
Are you kidding me?
That's right.
So I'm guessing the answer to that question is no.
Well, I would love to get my hands on one. We got a hold of some authentic game jerseys years ago when they were coaches were making an order at some point before the season, and never done that since. You can't get those real ones in the bookstore. It's hard to find those real ones.
Exactly.
So.
Speaking of jerseys and coaches, I got wind of a little rumor that you might have been here on the turf at Paladin Stadium doing some things with some of the coach. Well, I can't divulge, my sources.
You got your ears to the ground.
You can't tell people how you finished. I ain't going to tell you who I talked to. But there's just a little words, little rumors flying around that you might have been putting on some kind of mini demonstration here with some of the coaches and football players.
Well, I might have gotten invited out to do a little something out here, and I can't divulge too much. We'll see. I can maybe talk to you a little bit more about it later on. But
your publicist can neither confirm nor deny.
That's right, exactly. But, I got an opportunity to come out here and do a little stuff down on the field with Bratton and some of the players, and do some stuff in the weight room, and I'm hoping to be able to share some of that kind of stuff soon. Hoping that'll come out soon.
Good deal. Speaking of Bratton, how about that bombshell he dropped on me yesterday, and how casually he did it?
You're talking about the kids, number of kids, or what?
Yeah, I said, you got 2 kids, right? He said, yeah, and tomorrow there'll be 3. Talking about today.
Yeah.
So
he's just like, one of those, and just another one. It's okay.
Yeah. Find something you're good at and go with it, I guess, is all I can think of. But so I don't know if Ashley has had the baby yet or not, but
I'm sure we'll see about it. We'll hear about it on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Thoughts and prayers. I'm sure Brian is not in studio or in the offices here today. They were going to be induced in the 3rd Bratton child. How about this? 3 kids, 3 and under.
Not me. No, thank you.
That's what I told him.
More power to you. I'm going to say an extra prayer for Brian tonight.
Yeah, do that, and Ashley.
Yeah,
without question. All right, so the last 2 years, as I've mentioned, you have gotten some really good television time during the broadcasts where you ran, and the Bootie bandwagon is
taking off, yeah.
But the interesting thing about this, and explain this to the people who are tuned in, you never know if you're going to get any TV time.
Yeah. You get down there on any of these regional courses, they will run on the qualifying courses. They'll run probably 100, maybe 120 people through the course in a night. In a 2-hour episode, they've got time to squeeze in 30 to 40% of those. So you're going to get 35 to 45 runners shown. Get some kind of airtime. Some of those might be a little fast forward something where you just get kind of like bits and clips and a summary. Some of them might be a full run with a profile, competitor profile at the beginning. They've been very, very kind to me in the past 2 years, giving me a full profile, show my full run, and but you just don't know what's coming until the episode, and that's kind of exciting too, to see what's gonna see who you're gonna see, kind of relive some of those memories as well. It's a fun evening. It's a fun, energetic time to be with your friends and stuff, and it's good to recap that and see how they did.
And the other thing is that they have really saved themselves money from a production standpoint. They don't send people out to get the footage that they shoot with folks like you or some of the other things we see. If we see them working out in a gym or on a home course or something like that, that's all shot by the people themselves and submitted.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little model they got going on. I don't know if they came up with that or what, but in some cases they'll send a crew out if it's some scenario where they need to do that. But in most cases, most of the footage that you might see of people working out or doing their thing in their profiles that get aired is probably stuff that was just filmed themselves, on an iPhone or something like that. So yeah, they get a lot of free footage that way. It gets a lot of work done for them. It's nice.
What's been the reaction from not just friends and family, because we know what friends and family are going to say about something like this, but from the public at large? How big is the Bootie bandwagon right now?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to build it up into something that's not, but it's been really fun to watch this whole thing kind of grow and come together, and got a lot of friends all over the country who share stuff on Facebook and relatives and stuff who will come. I had a great crowd come all the way down to Daytona. I didn't think I was going to get anybody down there, but yeah, I had a number of folks come down, filled up about half of the little section of bleachers there in front of the course, and we had an amazing time. And they're super supportive, and I'm so grateful to have them down there. And so all the supporters that I have are just fantastic.
You see, we got to get you to the point where you're advancing to the city finals, so when we have you on the program here, we can start tapping into your celebrity status. And it would be nice to be able to get Drew Dreschel or Jesse Graff or somebody like that on the telephone right now to talk a little bit. But I noticed they're not banging on your phone to get in here at the moment.
My phone's not buzzing, but I'll tell you what, we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Well, it all depends on you. I mean, I'm here.
I think I can make it happen for you, buddy.
I'm here.
I think I can make it happen.
Let's do it.
I know some people.
Good. You know some people. Get your people in touch with my people.
That's right. In touch with their people.
And we'll go there.
We'll people.
At 48 years old. I know. I just hit 50 this year back in
Congratulations.
April. Yeah.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's the goal now.
But at 48 years old, we know the way the body works.
And doesn't.
And doesn't work exactly. More difficult for you to do it 4 years later, or has it gotten easier?
Yes. When I first started, I felt like that first year, I felt like I was still 25 years old in terms of my body, and ever since then, that was just right. I think it was just coincidental timing. My body just hit a spot where it started slowing down, and I could feel a drain of energy. I could feel having to watch more what I eat, and it just I felt like I was 48.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you think when you see guys? I know last week there was a 59-year-old that ran the course. There have been at least one 50-year-old who's finished a course going back a couple of years.
Yeah.
What do you think when you see things like that? Is it something you think that you can continue to do at a pretty high level for years to come, or is the window beginning to close a little bit?
Well, when you sign up for something like this at 40-something, you're already past the age where athletes of major sports have retired already.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I knew when I was getting into this, I was pushing the envelope to begin with. But I did it. I did it mainly as I don't want to look back on life and regret anything. And I like having fun with life. And this was an adventure, and it's something to have fun and to challenge myself and do it. And so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, number one, as long as it's still fun, which it still is. And number two, as long as they'll keep letting me come back. Even if they don't let me come back, as long as I can still function and do it physically, I'll still be involved in local competitions and things like that. Just because it's not just about getting on TV; it's about the community, the camaraderie, the fitness, all of that stuff. So yeah, I enjoy all aspects of it, and as long as my body will let me, I'm gonna continue jumping on it and swinging and doing my thing.
Well, one thing that I have noticed as I've watched this show over the last 4 or 5 years, and Angela and I, as I said, we never miss it if at all possible. But one of the things I've noticed is that it really has become, from a competitor's standpoint, really has become a tight-knit community. You see guys and gals who are in direct competition with one another, working out and training together to try to make each other better and spur each other on. And can you imagine Furman and Wofford football doing something like that? That's basically, if you want to draw a comparison to a certain degree, that's basically what we're talking about. But it seems to be a really tight-knit community.
It is, yeah. Well, there's no seems to be. It definitely is, and I think it just naturally shows. And that's one of the draws to it, and one of the things that separates it and makes it so special. And I think one of the reasons it's grown into what it's grown into and has become as popular as it is. So a friend of mine was telling me, I guess it was recently at this local competition, and he said he was talking about how his daughter was watching the show or something, and she pointed out, it's like one of the first times she started watching it, and she pointed out, Dad, they're cheering for each other, they're pulling for each other. And she thought that was great. Of course, he thought that was great, and it is great. It's a very positive vibe and a positive energy that goes on. And everybody I've talked to says they've never seen anything like it in any other sport.
Yeah, and the Ninja Warrior phenomenon has now spurred on other types of competitions. For instance, what follows Ninja Warrior on Monday nights now is Spartan.
Yeah.
And this past week, there was a team of Ninja Warrior competitors working together as a team on this course that it was designed by some kind of maniacal evil scientist.
Right.
And actually won their heat, so they're moving on. Of course, I know all this stuff has been recorded in the past, but still, the phenomenon that Ninja Warrior is spurring other types of competitions as well.
Yeah, the Spartan stuff is real similar and becoming popular. The Spartan show was done by the same producers for Ninja Warrior. And I see Steve's name over there. I'm afraid to see what he typed. But we'll find out in a minute. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think a lot of the draw and popularity too is they're people pushing each other to get better and to improve themselves, and that's no matter what kind of platform or stage you do that on, as long as you're doing that in some way in your life. I think trying to improve yourself, trying to better yourself, challenging yourself, that's whether it's athletically or mentally, emotionally, spiritually. However, I think that's just a key to a happy and successful life.
Steve, your brother?
Yes, Steve is.
He said, hey, this is Drew Dreschel. I'm sitting here with Jesse Graff waiting to call into the show. So I think he's mocking you a little bit.
Oh, he's having some fun.
Yeah, I think
Steve's a pretty good guy.
I told him it's funny he doesn't look like Jesse. So
no, far from it. Far from it.
Well, let me ask you this, and not asking you to divulge any names, obviously, unless you just want to, but I know your personality, you probably won't, and I wouldn't either. But talked about it being a tight-knit community, but as in any large number of athletes, just like in any large number of people in any section of society, there's got to be a few jerks out there.
You know what? That's what Sturgis told me the other day. He said something about that. And he was trying to like instigate me into pointing out somebody. But you know what I told him?
I just want yes or no.
No, there's not anybody that I can point to as a, or that I even would. I don't think. It's not like oh yeah, this person's a real jerk. But no, there's really not. And I think that's because we're all out there trying to better ourselves. We're we're positive minded people. We're trying to better ourselves. We're trying to better each other, and I think that just naturally brings out the kind of people that aren't jerks. You know.
Well, I mean that's great. If that's the case, either that or you're very blind. one of the two. The naive booty bandwagon rolls on here.
That's right.
But you know, all kidding aside, I stand by what I said. Just watching, and if you watch it long enough, you do get a sense that it is a pretty tight-knit community.
Yeah, it definitely is, and that's a really cool thing about it.
All right, let's take another break. We'll come back and continue with more with Bootie Cothran. Talking Ninja Warrior, we've gone this far. You got another 24 minutes left.
Hey, man, I'm here for you, baby. Let's do it.
Good deal. An hour of American Ninja Warrior. We'll continue with more right after this on the Dan Scott Show. Don't go away. I dare you.
Hey, Furman fans, it's baseball season. Here at Ingalls, we know that as you root for the home team, sometimes you want more than just peanuts and Cracker Jack. And while we do deliver on your favorite ballpark classics, we're proud to offer a packed lineup of everything you need to make your next meal a home run. Ingalls, a proud sponsor of Furman Baseball and the official grocery store of Furman Athletics. Go Dins!
The Atlanta Bread Company at Cherrydale Point offers a dining experience that will have you coming back for more time and time again. Everything is freshly made on site, including the different varieties of bread and all the baked goodies. And the menu, Atlanta Bread Company offers a wide variety from hot soups and chili to hot and cold sandwiches and paninis. Even breakfast selections topped off with your choice of piping hot coffees. Come see for yourself. You'll love it. The Atlanta Bread Company at Cherrydale Point, proud sponsors of the Furman Paladins and the Dan Scott Show.
When you go in search of a fence company, what's your criteria? Experience? Trust? A company that gets it right the first time and stand behind its work? Then your search is over. Faulkner Fence has been Greenville's fence company for more than 40 years. Ed Faulkner started the business, and now son Todd continues the tradition of excellence. So regardless of your fencing needs, commercial, industrial, or residential, trust the company that Greenville has trusted for over 4 decades. Faulkner Fence, 864-271-4626, or online at faulknerfencecompany.com.
Hi, Furman fans. Dan Scott here for UPS. Your customers want more from your business. You've got to make more happen, whether they're in Greenville or on the other side of the world, globally or locally. UPS is building solutions to help businesses give their customers exactly what they want. More made easy. UPS, the official logistics company of Furman Athletics.
Dan Scott here to tell you that I have found my breakfast place in the Travelers Rest area, the Hungry Drover. Located at the intersection of Tigerville Road and Highway 290, the Hungry Drover features local eggs, raw milk, homemade breads, and of course their famous gigantic omelets. If it's lunch you crave, check out the barbecue, tomato pie, and the made-from-scratch desserts. And don't forget dinner on Friday nights. Find the full menu and operating hours at hungrydrover.com and like them on Facebook. For catering, call John at 864-901-5040 and enjoy the farm fresh eating experience in the heart of Travelers Rest. That is the Hungry Drover.
If you've been sidelined with an injury, sore joint, or back pain, the experts of Piedmont Orthopedic Associates can offer you both surgical and non-surgical care to get you moving again. Piedmont Orthopedic Associates' 15 surgeons and 2 spine physicians are all board certified and are committed to providing you with excellent orthopedic care. Visit us online at getmovingwithpoa.com.
Hi, welcome back. We are live here on the beautiful campus of Furman University. Dan Scott Show Thursday edition on Facebook Live, on the TuneIn Radio app by searching for WPLS-LP, the campus radio station, and over the air on Campus FM at 95.9. I am Dan Scott, as our high-tech graphic people so cleverly have pointed out. That is Bootie Cothran, our own American Ninja Warrior. His run hopefully is going to be shown on television on Monday night, from down in Daytona that they recorded back in April. Again, you never know how much TV time you're going to get, unless, now I will say this, and Angie and I talk about this all the time, the number of sad stories that people have. You know,
it's endless, isn't it?
It is, and after a while, and I don't mean this in a way that sounds like I'm disparaging someone who has a sad story.
Right.
But after you hear 15 sad stories in a row from competitors, you know, on a particular telecast, it does begin to wear on you.
Yeah,
for
you
a
want
little
some positivity in there,
yeah.
right? They got to mix it up a little bit.
Except you've gotten on TV each of the last 2 years with the positive outlook. So, you know, maybe it's time, I don't know, to you know, maybe your life needs to turn into a country music song. Your dog
Thanks.
left you, and
I'll just do without the TV time. How about that?
I love it. Hey, there are some other folks here in Greenville who are getting into the Ninja Warrior craze, and in fact, there were 3 other people who ran in Daytona from Greenville.
Well, there's a handful of folks around the area who have been involved in it in some capacity, one capacity or another. This year, I was not the only Greenville person in Daytona. We had a total of 4 of us: myself, Brett, and Grace Sims, who are both veterans of the show. Brett is one of the biggest ninja names in the community, and is an incredible athlete. My money would be on him to win it all in any given year. But he's been involved with it since before I was. And but it was cool to connect with him. And then Grace and he got married. But then there's another competitor here in Greenville named Heather Gleaton, and this was her first year. She's a local veterinarian, and she had her rookie season this year. So I hate we couldn't squeeze them all in here, but anyway.
Well, Heather, we would love to have you on the program and offer you some great advertising rates on the Dan Scott Show. I'll just throw that out there.
That's right.
For your vet office. No, but it's again, we're seeing the community beginning to grow in pretty much the entire country.
Yeah, it's all over the place, and I don't know what shows up on your Facebook news feed, but I see ads for American Ninja Warrior Australia, Australian Ninja Warrior, Canadian Ninja Warrior, whatever. All these, Sweden Ninja. That's all over the place. All of these countries are jumping on.
So when are you going to go run internationally?
Oh man, I hadn't had any time to do that. But it would be fun to go over to one of these other places. Japan and that's where it all started. That's where Brett's been over there.
Yeah.
2 of those other big.
See,
names.
I would worry about doing it in Japan though.
Yeah.
Yeah, just based on what I've seen from the Japanese game shows.
Yeah, right.
That's
kind of where White Belt came from,
yeah,
right? Some of that kind of
exactly.
stuff.
I would be a little concerned that something completely unexpected and way out of the ordinary might happen on a course that's already way too difficult.
A big old cartoon boxing glove come out and punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Off the course.
Or something like that, like in the cartoons, grease thrown on as you're trying to climb up something or whatever. But but that is interesting that it's now starting to become a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah, it's really exploding, and it's become something pretty big. It's over in Japan. I think they're in their 30th season of this thing. We're in season 9.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's going to last, but it seems to be. Ken was posting online talking about how they keep it fresh, and I think they're doing a good job with that, and throwing new things in like the Team Ninja Warrior, doing the USA versus the World competition,
right,
which they film every year in Vegas, and then this Red Nose Day stuff that they've been doing.
Well, and even just adding new and different obstacles every year.
Yeah, can you imagine how boring it would be if there was just the same obstacles every year? I was looking at a replay of some stuff from season 5 or 6, I believe it was. I was looking at those obstacles going, oh, man, I'd love to have that because it's so easy. You know,
right.
But those obstacles are getting harder and harder.
And they have competitions for the fans to submit these things. And the show that aired last week, they had one, I think they called it the Lord of the Rings, where you had to basically, by dangling from one ring, swing and go airborne with that ring.
Take the ring with you.
And catch on to another hook.
Yeah.
And you had to touch all 6 rings. That was submitted and invented by a 7-year-old.
7 years old.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. But they
At
had
7, I was trying to learn to play baseball and eating dirt, and this kid is designing Ninja Warrior obstacles.
Yeah, you can. They're doing it again this year. They're looking for all kinds of fresh ideas. You can. I think you probably get there through ANWNation.com. That's American Ninja Warrior Nation, and that's their official kind of a fan site. But they've got all kinds of info there, and probably a link to get to that submission. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can submit obstacles. You got a crazy obstacle idea, throw it out there. Who knows? You might see it on TV next year.
That's. I think that's cool. But that's again one way. It's smart marketing because it gets fans involved, and B, it does keep the sport fresh.
Yeah, new obstacles in every city. Even you're not going to have the same obstacles from city to city. Except for, say, you're always going to have the steps, you're always going to have the wall. In between, they're going to mix it up as best they can, recycle stuff from maybe another region so that you're not getting a whole lot of time on obstacles from year to year.
See, Steve continues to bother us here. His work release must not be going well. He wants to know how much of your success and determination do you credit to surviving life with 3 older brothers?
This is a good one because it's a great question.
So you're the youngest of 4.
I'm the youngest of 4 brothers, and I think it was instrumental because those 3 older brothers, God love them, they beat me up pretty good
the crap out of
when
you,
I was young. We were all 2 years apart. I wanted to hang out with them and their friends. You can imagine that. And they didn't want little brother Bootie hanging out with them and their friends or whatever. Anyway, so it was a fun love. It was growing up, and we kidded each other a lot. But it was great because they pushed me. They helped me.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly.
And figuratively.
Yeah. But it pushed me. It made me a little stronger mentally and helped me be able to put up with stuff and if I can put up with their crap, I can put up with anything, right?
Yeah. Nice.
So thanks, brothers.
You see, we had 2 completely different experiences. You were the baby of 4 growing up. I was the oldest.
Oh, you were one of the ones picking on them, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, to a certain degree, but I also stand by the claim that, and I think it's been proven to be true, that the first-time parents make the vast majority of their mistakes on the oldest.
Yeah.
And by the time kid 3 or 4 comes along, it's as long as he's not sticking keys into the light sockets, he's all right.
Exactly. It's like just leave him alone; they'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. So
that'll come off in a few days.
Yeah. I saw somebody posted on my Facebook timeline, or on theirs, but I saw it on my timeline. He said he was raised with a go-ahead mentality.
Yeah.
It's like, Daddy, I want to jump off that tall bridge.
Oh, go
ahead. You'll do it once.
Yeah. See what you learn from that. It's learning experience.
Bootie Cothran, Greenville's own American Ninja Warrior, his run that was filmed in Daytona back in April will air, or that show will air on Monday night, 8 o'clock here on, or not here, but on NBC. And how much TV time he gets, we don't know. And he doesn't know. There are some things he knows that he cannot and will not divulge, even though during the breaks we're shoving bamboo under the fingernails. And,
They're trying.
But he will not tell us how he did. And if he advanced to the city finals for the first time. But in any event, we do know that run will air on Monday night, 8 p.m. on NBC, the Daytona I guess
qualifying,
episode, yeah. City qualifier.
City qualifying.
I asked you during the break about compensation, and I think what you told me will surprise a lot of people, because you ain't getting rich.
Oh no,
doing
no,
this.
You're spending money traveling. If you're in the going to one of the city qualifying rounds, which they film the qualifying round and the finals round in the same weekend. So if you travel down there, it's on your own dime, and there are thousands and thousands of people who are willing to do it.
Even the ones who have become the quote unquote superstars, they don't feed them a little bit of.
I don't know. I can't speak to that with any accuracy. They might give them a little stipend or something to maybe travel to some of the other ones.
Why don't you become a superstar so you can tell us?
I'm working on it. We'll see. You're helping me out right now, right?
I don't know about that.
But yeah, it's
you don't get paid to run the course.
Yeah, don't get paid. If you do, this year they did throw in a little something for folks who made it to the city finals. If you don't know how that works, the qualifying episode, they run 100+ people through the course, and they take the top 30 roughly to the city finals, to the next night. And so
if you let's explain that for people. If you finish the course,
yeah,
you're going through. Normally, you don't have 30 people finish it. So, of the people who didn't finish it, it's whoever went the furthest, the fastest,
right,
fills out those last slots. And then this year, for the first time, top 30, and then separately the top 5 women.
Right. Which is a nice thing. There's a little bit of controversy about that. Some people don't like it. I think it's great because it gets them into the city finals round. From there, it's up to them. It's not like they're getting any advantage past the finals round or anything. So
where I've seen a lot of the complaints has been from the women contestants who say, "Hey, we don't want any special treatment.
Right.
Yeah. If we make it, fine. If we don't make it, fine."
Feel like they're earning a little more or something, but
has I don't think there's any question. I won't say has, but I'll say Jessie Graff has raised the bar, not just for women, but I think she kind of raised the bar for everybody.
Oh, she's incredible. She sets the bar for men and women. She's a different animal out there. I got an opportunity to hang out with her a little bit in Daytona. She competed in Daytona, so she'll be there. Her run will air. I'm pretty much guarantee you that.
You think? I'm going to let you in a little secret, Bootie.
Yeah.
She's just slightly better looking than you are.
You think?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Man, look at that mug. Right
yeah. just a little bit. I think
I'll give her that.
Most of America would probably rather see her profile than yours.
I'll give her that.
Yeah.
I'll concede that point. Definitely. Yeah.
But she was in Daytona.
Yeah, she was there, and it was a great time. There was lots of other names there, but it was great getting to. That was the first time I'd ever got to kind of hang out with her a little bit, meet her a little bit, and her mom's in it too. Her mom is a wonderful person as well, and are both. Her mom is. I don't want to state what her age is. I don't know it, so I don't want to guess. But she's
also better looking than you.
Yes, of course, by far. But she's doing great as well, and so it's fun watching all that. But yeah, Jessie is really just a beast of an athlete, and she does set the bar up there for guys and girls, and it's great to see.
Given the nature of this kind of competition, and they do take incredible measures to provide safety for the contestants, and if you've never seen it, if a contestant falls off of a particular event, they land in water. So they provided something of a soft landing space, padding all around the areas that lead to the water. So when they're running through one of these obstacles, the safety has been pretty well addressed. Having said that, tell me about the paperwork that you have to sign, because I'm assuming they're not assuming a whole lot of liability should you fall on your head way off course somewhere.
Yeah, no, you can imagine you definitely have some paperwork to sign that releases them of all that kind of stuff. They're not going to let you come on there and give you a hold to let you sue them if you get injured. You know, I don't blame them. So yeah, everybody's gladly willing to sign the paperwork. It's like clicking the agree button on your software license. You just click agree and say, "Bring it on! I want to play." Right?
Don't even read it. Just sign it, right? Or click agree.
In some cases, but yeah, it's yeah.
My software has a license.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they go to extreme measures to make sure that you're safe and stuff like that. And I hadn't seen anybody get any kind of major injury outside of something like I guess the most major thing I've seen it was things like a Achilles tendon tear, or maybe somebody get their knee or their shoulder blown out.
Does that surprise you? I mean, given the nature of the obstacles, and I mean, we're talking about sometimes high flying, and even with the padding and even with the water, are you surprised that there haven't been more serious injuries?
Not really. Not really. I think it's pretty average ratio of what I would consider at least what they've shown on TV. It doesn't seem too abnormal because they do keep it pretty safe, and there aren't a ton of injuries. But with the wall, I've seen about 2 Achilles tears, people going up the wall, and I hate the thought of that. But what do you do you can't do anything to make that any safer,
Right.
That's just somebody's body
giving out on them,
stressing that out. So who knows? But yeah, it's nice to have the water below you when you're doing an obstacle like that. When you go to some of these backyard courses, they don't have that. You got foam mattresses or something, and when you go down on that, it's a little different. It's a little sketchier when you don't have that water there. I love the water. Love the water.
Yeah, especially if the mattress has a spring sticking out of it. And,
That's right.
It's something they just pull it out of the garage. We're coming down to the end of the hour. What have we not covered?
Oh, wow. We've covered a lot.
The hour's kind of flown by, actually.
It has. It's always fast. It's always fun. NBC, 8 p.m. Monday night. This Monday night, June 26th, 8/7 Central on NBC. It's American Ninja Warrior Daytona qualifying.
So after the run, we probably need to do a follow-up visit so we can either laud you for moving on to the city finals or heckle you for failing again.
Well, I'll take either one of those. Yeah, definitely.
No, just by competing, and I'll say this in all seriousness, representing us old dudes well. Thank you,
man.
I'm really happy for you.
I'm stoked that I had this opportunity at this point in my life, and that I wasn't too old, and was able to squeeze it in. It's been an adventure. We're going to keep riding it out and see how long it lasts, and have a lot of fun with it. Oh, and you follow my stuff online on Instagram at Bootie Cothran, and Twitter at Bootie Cothran. Facebook is Booty Bandwagon. Yeah, and just my regular websites. BootieCothran.ninja. I've got a .ninja domain. How about that?
Really?
BootieCothran.ninja.
Got your own .ninja domain.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we hope that folks will get out to your Twitter page and Instagram and Facebook and start following and playing along and watching. Do you update when you go to other places as well? I mean, how active are you on your social media?
Yeah, very active. Anytime I go somewhere, do a competition, I'll post some stuff out there. I post those things on my website, and so I've got a whole tab devoted to ninja activities out there. It's got videos of competitions and various things like that. So yeah, get out there and enjoy some of that.
All right, last opportunity. You sure that you don't want to provide a little spoiler alert for us?
I want y'all to watch and see what's coming. That's what I want you to watch it, see what's coming, and watch me have fun out there on the course.
We're going to do it. Appreciate it, my man.
All right, buddy. Good to see you.
All right, that is our own American Ninja Warrior, Bootie Cothran. Tomorrow, again, we will be live at Southern Wesleyan University for the entire program, and looking forward to hanging out with Chris Williams and the folks there. If you missed any of this show and you want to see the parts that you did not get, and Bootie's been with us for the entire hour, within the next hour or so, I will have it archived on the Dan Scott Show YouTube page and share the link on all of my social media. And once Bootie sees it, he'll share it on his social media as well. And we'll continue to get the word out. And again, remind folks that the Daytona qualifier, and we're not talking about NASCAR, we're talking about American Ninja Warrior, 8 o'clock Monday night on NBC. That's where he ran back in April. That's what's going to be shown. So tune in. Let's see if Bootie gets some TV time, how far he advances, and then we'll schedule a follow-up next week and kind of talk about what happened.
Right on.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, that's it. You folks have yourself a great Thursday. We'll see you from Southern Wesleyan University tomorrow. Until then, I'm Dan Scott saying God bless you. So long, everybody.